after how tires wear out during the race, but you get a lot more grip.
Yeah, I was talking with some of the drivers earlier. They were seeing as much as 50% tire wear in a 25 to 30 lap green flag run, which means, Ryan, that these tires for some of these competitors may not last through a full fuel stint.
Oh, we're gonna see people dancing on their tires near the end of the stints then.
We most certainly will. We're going to go ahead and put the qualifying chart up for everybody right now. Lyft Fox is the fastest on the racing surface, 189.892 miles an hour. I do appreciate everybody's patience. My sim just decided to go away, Ryan.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
It most certainly is. The good news is it's a simulator, and I appreciate everybody's patience while I get right back on in. And so this has been a weird time for me personally. This has been a weird time for me personally with technology. Had a situation where it was very difficult for me to get into the sessions yesterday. Got All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for your patience. You've got Murph and you've got the wreck, Ryan Eric King, and we are live from the Iowa Speedway where we had an eventful start. The service crashed out for me. I had a full and complete computer restart. Ryan, I missed a ton of fun, didn't I?
Yeah, you certainly missed a bunch. We had a spectacular multi-car incident at the end of lap 2. In some ways, we had our little version of the Thermal Club power outage.
Yeah, that was very, very weird. Everything in the sim just went completely blank. It was almost a carbon copy of my run last night in the Indy Oval fixed top split, where everything just shut off with no explanation, no warning. I've been experiencing, for whatever reason, some computer packet or some packet loss issues. We think we got it doped out last night with the help of Mike Rigney and Matt Wagner and some good friends. We kind of got it doped out, and we know where the issue is. It's not on my end, but unfortunately, Ryan, it's led to me just flat out disconnecting from the service several times in the last couple of days, and so it's unfortunate, but the great thing is we are back to live action. Alex Miller leads it. Nate Fields, Andrew Surwack, Frank Wynn, Hugo Gallas, your top 5. We have already had, as Ryan mentioned, a large accident, and that did bring some of our main threats, main competitors to pit lane for their fast repair. Craig Forsyth, Lith Fox, Micah Mixer, and Yari Brubaker. The top 4 starters in this race, Ryan, they've already used their fast repairs. You watch Craig Forsyth work on Matthias Marcamini.
Yeah, it's fairly rare to have an incident like that, especially so early in the race, impact pretty much the front fifth of the field.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge thing. I seem to recall when the new pavement was laid down here, we had a top split race where several of the front runners came off of turn 4, and the transition from the new pavement to the old pavement, it caught those guys out. It's a different grip level, and around they went coming to get the green flag. You want to go look that up in the you want to look that up in the P1 Broadcasting archives. You're more than welcome to do it. Not the case here though, Ryan. We are on, as we were talking about in the pre-race show, we're on the old pavement.
Yeah, we're on the old pavement. It is going to be, fairly consistent grip level on the straights and the corners. So you don't have that change in traction that you get with the new surface. You also get a lot more grip, far more grip than on the newer surface. The only downside is you're going to chew through your tires.
You most certainly are, and we were kind of talking about that right when the old computer decided, or the old connection decided to go south, is that these drivers were reporting, Ryan, that their tires were at 50% wear 30 laps into a green flag run, some of them. If that's the case, they're not going to be able to make it on what would usually be a 150 lapper here, would usually be a one stopper. I had maybe 5 minutes of computer issues, Ryan. We're already nearly 30 laps down in this race. What could be halfway through an initial run as we ride on board with Craig Forsyth here.
Yeah, and if you're at 50%, just 30 laps in, that last 20, to make it a guaranteed 2-stop race, is going to be difficult.
Do want to thank everybody for bearing with us here at P1. We had a little bit of a technical issue getting the race going, but we've managed to jump in. We are 30 laps of 150 already. Ryan Eric King, 20% of this race is gone. Just like that.
Yeah, that's what happens when you tick off laps at, under 18 seconds a lap.
Yeah, 17:8:59 was the last time through for Alex Miller, the fastest car on the track right now. And the fastest car on the track right now is this man, Frankie Wynn. Frankie was at 17:695 the last time through. Just ahead of him, you've got, we'll get on board the nose cam, the old Bobby Rahal lipstick camera, the favorites of ABC Sports in the early 90s. You're looking up at Andrew Surwack and Nate Fields. Surwack is looking to the inside of Fields, and Andrew Surwack looks like he might be just about ready to make that move on Nate Fields. Alex Miller has drawn away, by the way, to over a 1 second lead over the field as we watch Surwack. He's on the bottom, Nate Fields at the top of the racetrack. Ryan, there are definitely two different grooves here that you can utilize, but there is a place on this track that can jump up and bite you, isn't there?
Yep. I would probably say it is the low side on the exit of turn 4. There's a bump there that will throw you around.
There is a bump there, but the bigger one is the one that Nate Fields is going to experience. We're going to get on board with Nate Fields. Watch as he runs this top line. You should be able to hear it. Now, Nate went low around to avoid that bump. But if you get up in that third lane, Ryan, here at Iowa, in turn number 1 and 2, there is a massive bump on entry, and it will actually lift all 4 wheels of one of these IR18s off the racing surface, and it can really, really, really ruin your day. You see Fields on the top, Surwack on the bottom. It's interesting to note, Ryan, that the bottom here is the way you save tires, not the top. If you run the top, because you've got to keep the momentum going up there, you can torch that right front in a hurry, and Surwack would be the favorite to get around Nate Fields here before too much longer, given that Fields is up in that high groove and we're approaching lap 40.
Yeah, because you can carry so much speed up at the top. You're just putting so much more stress through the tires staying up there, especially with the bump there. Because when you hit it, you do hear the floor strike the pavement, and it literally throws your car up the track. So you go from not being on the ground at all to all 4 tires just suddenly having to take the entire weight of the race car.
Well, and it also unhooks the ground effects, and so you get the skateboarding sensation where you don't have downforce for a moment. The other thing, the flip side of that whole high line and burning your tire, your right front up, the flip side of that, Ryan, is that it is very difficult to get around a driver who is putting up a spirited defense on that top line. Nate Fields has been able to hold off a much quicker Andrew Surwack, and while he does that, Frankie Wynn has started to creep into the picture. But if you put up a spirited defense, you can hold off a guy trying to pass you on the bottom from the top, but you are going to pay the price with the tires. I seem to recall a race here where Chris Demeritte and I had just a knockdown fight. Is the best way I can describe it for the final step of the podium. Robert Maletsky and Jason Brophy were long gone, but Demeritte and I were fighting for third. I had the top, and even though he was much, much faster than me, Ryan, I was able to hold on to the position just by pinching him down to the bottom.
Yeah, because when you get pinched down at the bottom, you tend to drive up on corner exit, and the only thing to keep your car really pinned at the bottom and not to avoid contact is you simply have to lift. It's the only way. It's the only way to keep both of you in the race.
It is, and so you'll see Andrew Surwack get down to the bottom. He'll get all the way down there, and then if he's alongside, he's going to have to come out of the power to avoid plowing into the side of Nate Fields. I would like to see Andrew shift. You see on the steering wheel, he's in 5th gear. I would love to see him go down to 4th gear and even maybe 3rd to rotate that bottom and really get a launch off. But we'll see how it plays here, Ryan. And we're already approaching lap number 47, 48 of this event. It is ideal conditions here for this race. 75 degrees in the air, 81 on the track. You can see the lights coming on in the background. It's kind of a twilight to night race. And this is going to get fun, especially when the lights come on and we get going here, Ryan.
Yeah, because once the track starts cooling down, you're going to really see it's not going to be immediately apparent, but the cars are slowly going to get faster and faster and faster.
Yes, indeed, they are. We've already had a taker on pit road. That's Joseph Morales. He has exited the pit lane right in front of this group here. He's gone one lap He's gone 3 laps down to do that, Ryan. But I would suspect that Joseph Morales would have been one of those drivers that just, he cooked the tires, Ryan.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you're going flat out every single lap, you're not going to make it to the end of the fuel system. There's no other way to put it. You're gonna be so far off the pace.
He cleared him, Ryan. Sarawak clears Nate Fields. Holy smokes, what a great pass for second that was. Speaking of passing, there's a driver that I wanted to highlight tonight, and it is this man right here. That is Ryan O'Donoghue. Now, for many of you who watch the P1 Broadcasting channel on the regular, you'll recognize Ryan O'Donoghue as a driver who is a very, very rapid competitor in the AMA stock car series that we televise Thursday and Friday night with the AMA and their season now over, and we've got another car coming to pit lane. That's Micah Mixer. He's going to come down to the attention of his crew, but with the AMA season over with, Ryan O'Donoghue has decided that he's gonna step into an IndyCar, and he's doing a pretty doggone good job of it, Ryan.
Yeah, solid run so far. Obviously, any debut in a new car or new league, the first thing you want to do is make it to the end, stay clean, don't be involved in any incidents.
Yeah, well, there he is. He's racing along with Mark Cohn. Cohn, of course, an old pro at this. He's running along 15th, but he's got.
Hello, can you hear me now? Damn.
He's got some drivers along with him. Do apologize for the fifth wall break here. When it came back into the sim, my radio was active, Ryan.
Oh no.
So we're gonna take the opportunity to refresh the paints. I don't know if trading paints was all the way in good shape. So we're gonna reload that. We're gonna get everybody set and squared away and settled in, so that we can bring you the last 90 laps of this event in perfect shape. Do want to thank everybody for sticking with us. If you haven't already done so, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to P1 so that you can be notified of all future iRacing broadcasts on the P1 Broadcasting Network, just like this one. We got a decent crowd in here too, Ryan. We've got dueling streams up tonight. Gary Godso with the FIS over on the second stream. So if we've got people clicking back and forth, do appreciate all of you. We're watching. We're going to get to a different battle here because we've got Hugo Gallas, Daniel Durazo, and Craig Forsyth. They're waging war for 7th, 8th, and 9th, and they don't have very far to go to get to Hugo Gallas. And Craig Forsyth was one of those drivers that was involved in that early fracas that saw him use a fast repair, but he has climbed all the way back up through the field and is the highest placed, Ryan, of the drivers that were involved in an accident. Lith Fox is 10th, Yari Brubaker 11th. Micah Mixer has already made his first pit stop. He is not going to try to do it in one, and so Micah Mixer runs in 16th. Alex Miller, the leader, has come to pit lane, Ryan. So that's an interesting one. Alex Miller, the points leader, along with Andrew Sarawak, they are both crawling down pit lane, lap 62 of 150, and that tells me that they've used up their stuff as well, sir.
Yeah, this was roughly around the time I was expecting everyone to start coming in, because obviously, like ideally you would want to go 50, 50, 50 for your stint, but that's not the way it's going to work out, especially with, a lot of people want to be able to drive their last stint flat out, and that wouldn't be possible over 50 laps.
It wouldn't be. The other part of that too is you're going to gain a ton of time on the short pit. Micah Mixer, Nate Fields, they're anywhere between 2/10 and a half a second a lap faster than everybody else. As you watch Hugo Gallas He's going to dive to pit lane. That's going to mean that Turner Johnson is your leader, and there's Turner. We'll give he and Gary Lovren, the two Votive Racing League cars, their due. They are P1 and 2. Durazo third, and here comes Turner Johnson. The man that I'm going to watch for is Craig Forsyth. If there's anybody in this field that's going to be able to make 75 laps here on 90% fuel, Ryan, it's going to be Craig Forsyth.
Yeah.
And so there's Craig. Gary Lovren's going to go one more time, and we'll give Gary his due as well. There's Gary Lovren as he circulates in the Votive Racing League machine. He leads it. Craig Forsyth is second, and Lith Fox has made it all the way up to third. Now, the other thing, as Lovren comes into pit lane, with Forsyth and Lith Fox, Jari Brubaker, those three cars, now Micah Mixer didn't do it, Ryan, but those three cars, along with Micah Mixer, they had to come in, they had to pit. It might have only been a gallon that they got. But that gallon of gas may prove to be fortuitous for them. Forsyth now gets past, and that is, I believe that's Nate Fields that just tore past Craig Forsyth like he was tied to a post. But Ryan, that early accident could prove to come in handy for those four guys, or those three guys that stayed out on it.
Yeah, because effectively they're on a different pit cycle than everyone else. It's only by a couple laps, but like you said, it could make a massive difference.
Most certainly so. And these are the kind of races that I like, Ryan, where you get alternating strategies. You're going to have a crew of drivers who are absolutely going for it. They're going to burn their tires down, come in, make two stops, 50-50-50. We've seen that from Joseph Morales, Mason Mitchum, Micah Mixer, right? Those guys, they're going to run as hard as they possibly can. Most of the field kind of split the difference. They came in around, anywhere from 60 to 65. Craig Forsyth, though, he's going to try to make this in one stop, and he's 2 laps away from making that happen. The other person I want to kind of spotlight here, Jari Brubaker, but then Ryan O'Donoghue, as Lith Fox pulls in. Ryan O'Donoghue, the NASCAR ace, Ryan, he has made the fuel save. He was not involved in the early accident. He's made the fuel save. He's going to come get lap 75 here.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
It absolutely is. Now, I do want to point out that earlier there was a paint on that car. It was the Liquid Death water, paint. For whatever reason, it is not showing up. And I did kill and refresh and try to rerun Trading Paints, and I guess I can do that again for Ryan. But either way, what an awesome run! He's going to go 77 laps before Ryan O'Donoghue comes into the pit lane. Great run for him, but staying out on the racing surface, well, they went the same amount. Ryan O'Donoghue went the same amount of laps as Craig Forsyth. And so let's see where they cycle out. I'm going to bet that they're going to be pretty far behind everybody else, maybe as much as half a lap as we see Turner Johnson pull out of the pit lane. They may be as much as a half a lap behind this man, Alex Miller, who will reassume the lead. But the cool thing is they're going to have to make one fewer pit stop.
Yeah, and having a pit stop in hand is it's basically a free win if you can make it work and not be so far off the pacing that you get overtaken at the end. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out in, say, half an hour's time.
It will. There's Craig Forsyth. He has come out in 10th place. Craig Forsyth is 13 seconds off the lead. Here's Ryan O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue lost a lap in that. But here's the thing. Ryan O'Donoghue is now going to be circulating, and we'll keep an eye on his lap times as well as Craig Forsyth. They're now circulating faster than leader Alex Miller, who has a 5-second advantage over Andrew Surwack. That's picking him up and putting him down, Rec.
It really is. It really is.
This race has gone extremely fast. We are already past halfway here in the Horizon IndyCar Series. 150 lapper from Iowa. Do want to thank the Joy of Driving for their sponsorship of the series. Do want to also thank all the fans in the stands. If you haven't already done it, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to P1, be notified of all future iRacing broadcasts just like this one. Rec, we just went past 1,460 subscribers on the channel. How about that?
Wow.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good. You know, now the drive for 1,500 and then 2,000 begins. So we do thank everybody out there. But if you haven't done it, again, make sure you click that like button and ring the bell so that you can be a subscriber to P1. Alex Miller has given the lap back up to Mark Cohn. So Cohn now goes to the tail end of the lead lap. And Ryan O'Donoghue is not too far behind him. O'Donoghue was 0.6 of a second quicker than Alex Miller the last time through, and a half a second better this time. Tells you all you need to know about tires, doesn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, it's. I won't say tires are the sole determining factor about how fast you are, but the difference between a worn set and a fresh set, night and day.
It is night and day. We're gonna flip the page here. We're gonna watch Hugo Gallas, Matt Wagner, and Craig Forsyth. Now, we were on board with some guys earlier that were running their cars pretty hard. I bet if we jump on Craig Forsyth here, you're gonna hear him roll out of the throttle. You're gonna hear him roll out of the throttle. You're not gonna hear him on the chip. And I'd also bet he doesn't pick it up until pretty late through the corner, Ryan.
Yeah, it's sort of waiting for the last possible moment to lift and get the car to carry, but it's the fastest way around here, but it'll definitely take a toll on the tires.
Well, the thing that I would say about the tire situation as we ride with Forsyth, he's taking it very easy. If you just roll the bottom like that, and you don't abuse the tires, you get some high weight jacker settings in there, depending on how the car's set up, and try to get the car to drive off the right rear as much as possible. You actually don't hurt the tires near as bad as you going fast on the top. That's actually how you save them here, is rolling the bottom, and that's exactly what Forsyth is doing. You see, he's not picking up the throttle quite nearly as early as some of the people around him. Just being very, very smooth, and that's classic Craig Forsyth as he runs along behind Matt Wagner. This is one of the best battles on the racetrack. We'll get a little bit further ahead and look at Turner Johnson, who's got Matt Wagner looking to his bottom side, and right ahead of Turner are teammates Hugo Gallas and Gary Lovern. Now keep in mind, Lovern went fairly long on that last run. He was one of the last drivers to pit, so keep an eye on him. Mark Cohn, one of the final drivers to pit, and then of course the pair of O'Donoghue and Forsyth that made the full distance. Do have some intelligence that says that Lith Fox was sputtering getting on the pit lane, Ryan.
First, it's really hard to run the tank that empty here. Number two, I would not play it that close on fuel, especially on a short track. You run out of fuel here, you're gonna be swallowed up in a hornet's nest.
Oh, you'd be half a dozen laps down at least. It is a long pit. The pit lane here is fairly long. It is a difficult entry, and it's a 35 mile an hour speed limit. I don't know if you entered the pit lane under yellow or without fuel in the car, Ryan, you'd almost be forced to take a speeding penalty just to make it to your box if it was at the far end.
Yeah, there's no way you'd have enough speed to carry all the way down to the end. And it's not like other places. This pit lane's completely walled. It's not like, say, you overshoot the exit, you could always just cut back in and just eat the penalty. No, you miss the entry. You miss the entry.
And we've seen that play up in many broadcast races here at Iowa, with drivers missing the pit entry, hitting the pit wall. Famously, Kyle Clinworth, Ty Keela did that in an official race here. It can be very difficult to get to pit lane, and kudos to all of these Horizon IndyCar Series drivers for making it to the pit lane. We have not yet had a caution outside of that first lap fracas between the 4 drivers that we discussed earlier. Again, that's Forsyth, Fox, Brubaker, and Micah Mixer were all involved in an early race accident. All 4 took the fast repair, and all 4 are having varying degrees of success. We're watching Frankie Wynn as he works on Andrew Surwack. Wynn had pulled alongside Surwack earlier. They've got the lapped car, or is that a lapped car? That's... Don't know who that is behind him. It looks like Turner Johnson, but it's not Turner Johnson, because there's Turner, and he runs along with Hugo Gallas, Gary Lovern. It's a VRL car. It is not VH car. It's Mason Mitchum. So if Shane Coker is watching, Ryan, he'll have to give me a pass on that. But speaking of passes, Frank Wynn just about made the pass on Surwack there, didn't he?
Yeah, just about.
So difficult. Frankie Wynn almost had him clear, had to jump out of the throttle, and Frank Wynn is going to have to recharge one more time to try to get back by Andrew Surwack, Surwack's been on quite a roll. He was on the podium last week. He had some early season dramas, but Andrew Surwack has come on very well lately. Again, Alex Miller is your leader. Miller is going by Mark Cohn one more time. That'll put the Watchman 1 lap down. A second time tonight, Miller enjoys a 6.1 second advantage over his nearest pursuers, Surwack and Wynn. But as a reminder for everybody, Alex Miller is going to have to stop at least one more time. We think that Craig Forsyth and Ryan O'Donoghue are going to be able to make this the full distance without stopping. And that is a huge advantage for both of those drivers. Looking on Matty Wagner, and looking on Matty Wagner's VH car pulls his machine onto the pit lane. Matty Wagner does battle with Nate Fields once again. This is the best battle on the racetrack, Ryan, and you get the feeling that everybody's just kind of waiting on their final stop. And I have a feeling that even though we've got guys like Miller and Surwack, Nate Fields, who stopped very early in that first cycle, I don't believe they're going to stop early this time. I got to believe that they're going to go as long as they can.
Yeah, just sort of not bide their time, but try to stretch out the stint as long as they can, just so that final stint they could start off with, a lighter fuel load, fresh tires, and really get as many spots as they can.
Now, there's another reason that I might want to stretch out. Frankie Wynn is going to try to stretch into second place, and let's see if he can make that bottom work. He dives underneath Andrew Surwack, but just can't quite get there. There's another reason that you might want to stretch this out, Ryan, and that's going to be that, you're trying to avoid being trapped by a caution.
That is also true. We
haven't had one of those lately, but remember, you're going to lose at least a lap, if not two, pitting under green here. I would be cognizant of that if I were Miller or Surwack. I know I'm going to have to make another stop. The other bit is you want that final stop to be as short as possible. Now, obviously, they're going to get tires, but you want it to be as short as possible and as light as possible on fuel, because the lighter the fuel tank, Ryan, the less those tires are going to wear, the faster the car is going to be. This car is at its happiest on sticker tires with about half a tank of gas, in my opinion.
Yeah, pretty much, because it might not seem like a massive like a massive amount of fuel in terms of weight for the entire tank's capacity, but it does feel different in your hands when you're going around the track.
It most certainly does. Frankie Wynn has now been joined by Daniel the Cat Durazo. Durazo leaps to the bottom of the speedway, and he'll go by Frank Wynn. So move Daniel the Cat to third. Frank Wynn will be relegated back to fourth. Durazo has been lightning quick the last several times through. He, Gary Lovern, and Alex Miller were the quickest three on the track, and that's been so for several laps in a row now. Do want to keep an eye out, let you know that there's Craig Forsyth. He is in danger of going a lap down. This group here is only a couple of seconds clear of Alex Miller. And that's got to unnerve Craig. The last thing he wants to see is a caution flag, and these guys are racing three wide around him, Ryan.
Yeah, especially because if they're racing three wide around him, the chances are that he could be involved in that said caution flag.
Well, right. So for two reasons. He doesn't want a caution because that would kill his strategy, but he also doesn't want to be involved in a caution because if he's involved, he doesn't have fast repair anymore. Craig Forsyth would be out of this race. They're looking, that's Forsyth, Nate Fields, Lith Fox as the head of this train, and they've got Micah Mixer involved in there too. Mark Amini's involved. He's the 913. You're going to see, you saw one of the Votive Racing League machines peel off. That's Turner Johnson. He'll head for pit lane. Do want to thank everybody for their patience. It has not been a great day for the American Telephone and Telegraph Company in their internet connection, but we are living 30 laps to go here in the Horizon IndyCar Series presented by the Joy of Driving Iowa 150. Alex Miller is your leader. He's been out 60 laps, Ryan, and for him, those tires have got to be getting long in the tooth, and he's coming into the pit lane. Now, let's stay with Miller because we need to see where he comes out with regard to Craig Forsyth. That is the race, isn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, that is the race. And that's going to be the race because once you get back on track, tires up to speed, it's going to be really hard to pass. And it's going to be really hard to get around someone. And if he could jump someone in pit lane, it would be massive.
Most certainly could. You see the Alex Miller machine go up on the jacks. He is down and away, 7.1 seconds in the box. That is the minimum time for a fuel change. Out goes Alex Miller, and Miller is going to come out
behind.
Critically, he is going to come out behind. Critically, he's going to come out behind Craig Forsyth, and critically also, he's going to come out well behind Ryan O'Donoghue. So he is, he's about a half a lap, I would guesstimate, Ryan, behind Craig. We're watching Miller, and I'm looking. So Miller is almost, well, Forsyth is going into turn 3. He's right behind him. So that's the race right there. Alex Miller and Craig Forsyth, they are right together on the track. Here's the problem. Alex Miller's a lap behind him.
Yeah.
So Alex Miller is going to have to make this pass twice. And there he goes. He's got it once.
Around him easy the first time, thanks to the difference. But now he has to claw his way through the field again.
Yeah, he's going to have to go all the way through. Meanwhile, and Miller is fast. Make no mistake, Ryan. He is the fastest car on the track. Just set the purple lap. Do thank everybody for their patience. Again, Daniel the Cat Durazo is the leader. He is going to have to stop. Gary Lovern is going to have to stop behind him. So too for Matty Wagner. The first car that may be able to make it right now, Ryan, is Lith Fox in fourth, and he's down 4 laps, on Forsyth and O'Donoghue. He is going to have to really play champion balloon foot. He was 2 laps short on the first stint, and he wasn't able to make it. And was running out of gas coming to his box. All eyes, though, they're on Alex Miller as he tries to charge through this field. Remember, he's got to pass him twice. Daniel Durazo coming to the pit lane. That is going to turn the lead over to Gary Lovern. Matty Wagner is second. Lovern is coming to his pit box. Lith Fox will assume the lead, and Lith can probably go. Lovern speeds on pit lane, Ryan.
Oh, no.
Such a great run from Gary Lovern.
Yeah, you don't want to...
Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught speeding this late in the race. There's no time left to try to make something up and salvage this.
Well, not only that, but critically so. I just wanted to mention Gary Lovern has been running extremely well of late. He's been going fast, and he's had some awesome runs. And so for Gary Lovern, and it's doubly disappointing. He had a shot at a podium tonight, and for poor Gary, a mistake on pit lane, he's going to draw the penalty. We're watching Lith Fox as he leads it. Lith Fox is going to have to stop. This man right here, we think, Ryan, is good to go to the end, and he is not that far behind Lith. Critically, Alex Miller is about 8 seconds behind Craig Forsyth.
And there's not a lot of race left, but there's enough where Craig is not completely out of the woods yet.
No, he's not, but he does have a significant advantage. Matt Wagner goes to the purple lap. Matty Wags showing his speed, but 13 to go. It's all up to this man right here, Craig Forsyth, or it could be Lith Fox. Is Lith going to make it at this point? I would think, and Dirty Quiet can correct me if I'm wrong, but for Lith it might just be
Lith called it.
Okay, so Lith has called it. So Lith Fox is coming to the pit lane, and that is going to hand the lead to this man, Craig Forsyth. And now the only question is there enough petrol in the tank for Forsyth? Ryan, he's doing everything he can to save. He's running all the way around the bottom, on the front. He's going all the way around the bottom of the corners. I think he might be in map 8 too.
Yeah, just maximum save. If you got to this point, hell, you got to try it. You got to see if you could win it all.
You do have to see if you can do it or not. That is absolutely true. Forsyth is in map 8. You could tell just we went to have a look at the in-car before the glitchiness made that not possible. But we went to the in-car. He's running in 4th gear, which tells me he is in map 8, just coasting around. Jari Brubaker is behind him and closing, but Jari likewise is going to have to stop. Well, Jari is likewise going to have to stop. Alex Miller is now 7 seconds behind. Miller is going to have to gain a second a lap, Ryan. Forsyth one more time through.
All right, man.
Caution.
Caution is out.
We have caution on the track. It's Hugo Gallas and Micah Mixer have come together. Lith Fox may also be involved. Gary VH Carr is involved. There has been a coming together here on the front straightaway, and that is going to be a caution, and that is not what Craig Forsyth wanted to see. Although
it'll group the field back together.
Oh, Micah Mixer and VH Car came together. Nowhere to go for Hugo Gallas. A wild ride for Mixer. That's in front of Alex Miller. Although for Craig, this may not hurt him too bad. It's not going to be a green-white checker, or excuse me, it's only going to be a handful of laps. This means he's good on fuel, and he's got most of the field here trapped a lap down. So the worst.
Yes, that's the benefit. There's a lot of cars trapped down.
Yeah, we see Surwack going through. So the worst that Forsyth can finish here is really fourth. I don't think Surwack is going to be able to pass every car. The lapped cars are going to go to the tail end of the line. Here. And for Craig, how do you approach this? You're going to have Alex Miller right on your gearbox. And probably, 2 to go? 3 to go? Any intelligence on the restart, Ryan? Is it going to be, lights are still on, so it's going to be 2 laps? We're going to have a 2-lap shootout here?
Yeah, it should be 2 laps.
So 2 laps to decide it. Craig Forsyth is out on old tires and probably fumes. He's going to have to defend from Alex Miller in second. Miller last stopped 24 laps ago. Daniel the Cat has 15 laps on his tire. Yari Brubaker came to pit lane and got sticker tires. Andrew Surwack is the only other car on the lead lap. Surwack also came and got tires. He was the lucky dog. Critically for Ryan O'Donoghue, and this is unfortunate for him, he was a lap down to Forsyth when the yellow waved, and so he did all that work on that strategy, and he's not going to be able to cash it in, which is sad for Ryan O'Donoghue. He made the right call, just in the wrong position on the course when the caution flew. But now it's down to, can Craig Forsyth hold off Alex Miller for 2 laps? And if you're Craig, how do you go about that, Ryan? Do you want the top? Do you want the bottom? How are you going to try to defend this lead?
Oh, it's hard to say. I'd probably go as soon as possible, try to catch the field off guard, get a gap at the start, and try to hold on to it.
You know, that's a great point. And before we get there, do want to thank everybody who's stayed with us through the technological glitches. There is an issue with my ISP this evening. There are power outages all over my town. I just learned that. But we're going to see if we can't get to the end here. Craig Forsyth is going to lead him away from Alex Miller. And he went super early, Ryan. He stretches it out to at least a 10-car length lead. And let's see if the old pro can hold the young gun off here.
Yep, the gap is holding fairly steady as they go down the back straight.
Well, and Miller has to contend with Durazo. Durazo is on fresher tires than Miller. And remember, Brubaker is back there. Yari is on stickers. As we come to get the white flag, this is the final lap here on P1 Broadcasting. Craig Forsyth already down the backstretch through turns 3 and 4. He is going to come through and win the Iowa 150. Alex Miller second. Daniel the Cat is going to come home third. Yari Brubaker fourth. Andrew Surwack, the final car on the lead lap in fifth. Matt Wagner with the purple lap at the end of the race.
Oh, man, what a drive from Forsyth. Literally wreckers to checkers.
You know, that's not very often we get a chance to, it's not very often that we say wreckers to checkers, is it? Usually it's checkers or wreckers. But nonetheless, and I'm still finding stuff that I didn't have pulled up here. But Craig Forsyth is going to be your winner. Alex Miller is second. He clinches the championship with his run. Daniel Lecat is third. Yari Brubaker, Andrew Surwack round out the top five as we get dueling donuts. Frank Wynn, Matt Wagner, Turner Johnson, Lith Fox, and Matthias Marcamini will round out your top 10. In 11th, Nate Fields. Mark Cohn is 12th. Ryan O'Donohue, great drive for the NASCAR ace. He comes home 13th. Hugo Gallos, 14th. Gary Lovern, Joseph Morales, Mason Mitchum, Micah Mixer, and VH Carr will round out the field. Well, that was fun, wasn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, it was definitely a roller coaster of a race, whether you're out on track or up here in the booth.
It most certainly was. I have to say, we have the best. We have the best fans in sim racing here at P1 and in the Horizon IndyCar Series. They stuck with us, Ryan, and that was awesome of the public to do. And because they stuck around, they're going to get to hear from our third place runner, Daniel Durazo. Let me go ahead and bring Durazo up. There he is. Thank you so much for your time this evening, Dan. You've got Daniel the Cat, you've got Mark, you've got the Wreck, Ryan Eric King in the P1 broadcasting booth. What a run to third place. That got kind of interesting at the end. Do you think with your fresher tires that you had a shot to hold on, or a shot to get past Alex Miller there?
Hey, yeah. Good evening, guys. Yeah, I mean, I thought I had a shot too, but I just didn't. Craig got the jump on Alex, and Alex was a bit behind, so he didn't really have all the dirty air, so I was just kind of stuck trailing with them. It's been really hard to pass here. Usually I've been getting my passes a little bit later in the run, or as early as possible or as late as possible in the run. That's where it seems to be like I was making the majority of my quick passes. But no, Alex Miller, it would take me a little bit more laps to set that up for sure. I don't think I had it in those last two, unless he like really made a mistake. My mind was also focused on holding on Jari, because Jari had those fresher one lap sticky tires. So yeah, it just got interesting at the end. My one goal was hold the position in third, and take any advantage I'll get off of Miller. Clearly that didn't happen. Craig got the really nice restart, so yeah, I'll take third.
Ryan, what do you have for Daniel Lecat this evening?
I mean, I would certainly take third if I were in your position. How was it starting from effectively the back of the field and finishing on the podium?
Oh, it wasn't effectively. It was the back of the field 100%. Yeah, no, I was coming home from school. I'm an engineering major, so I have a lot of work outside the classroom too. And, it's a lot of fun, but I was like, man, maybe I should hop into this Horizon race just because these races are so much fun, man. And then, yeah, I was on my way home and I logged on from my computer, registered for the race, and I literally gridded on, and Matt Wagner was telling me like, hey, you gonna grid? I was like, yeah, give me a second. And I sit down in the seat, and there's like 10 seconds to grid. I was like, oh shoot. So yeah, it was pretty funny. I had zero practice, no qualifying. I jumped in the seat and I was immediately in the race. It felt very weird. The setup felt very what's the word? It felt very rocky. Like the steering wheel was never happy, but yeah, I mean, I got a hold of it quick. It's real happy to be racing at this Iowa track again. It's real fun here. The new Iowa I got used to, but this one will always be just as great. My last to first though, or last to third or whatever, it was just being patient, because this track really tests your tire wear. And then halfway through I was like, okay, I'm not going to make it on feel, so I just started pushing and pushing and pushing, using all the lap cars to my advantage. So I mean, I had no other goal in mind other than to win or die trying, except I didn't die, so got the podium.
You definitely stayed alive, and you get to stand on the podium, and because you're on the podium, you get the mic. It's your time. It's your time, Dan. Friends, family, sponsor, shout outs. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I want to shout out my sponsor, obviously, Mahatma Rice, America's favorite rice. I'm the only driver in the world to be sponsored by Mahatma Rice, other than Pato Award. I want to shout out my team Track Rocket. Fantastic team. Worked with them all race. Had a pretty solid strategy, and it got us third place. That yellow at the end definitely made things very interesting too. I I can't remember what it was going to be if that yellow didn't come out, but that yellow definitely did put me up 1 or 2 spots, I think. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. I'm glad I'm glad I didn't pick, because I saw Jari go in and got a little nervous. Um, yeah, I want to shout out Matt Wagner, my teammate. Obviously, he's absolutely one of the best teammates I've had on Track Rocket. Super helpful. He's a fantastic driver, and he got a top 10 today. I think he got screwed over by the yellow, but that was a fantastic drive from me and him today, for sure. And apart from that, shout out the field. Had some moments where I was getting a little frustrated, but what can I say? It's old Iowa. It's always gonna be top line track while I'm a bottom feeder driver, so it does not mix well. But running the top was definitely a lot of fun. Yep.
I'll tell you what, you definitely did well tonight. Dan, keep going fast, having fun, buddy.
Yep, you got it. Good night, guys.
Good night to you, and that is Daniel Durazo for second place.
Hello.
And now having clinched the championship, Alex Miller. Alex, you've got Murph, you got the wreck in the P1 broadcasting P1 broadcasting booth. You went for RI. You went for the stand on it strategy. Burn the tires down, come get new ones. Burn them down again, come get new ones. Forsyth went the other way and was coasting around the track. What were your thoughts as you tried to catch him before that yellow came out? And were you thinking the old guy got me again? Were you thinking you were going to catch him? Did you think he was going to run out? Kind of what was going through your mind during that chase there?
I knew unless he was doing something just that I couldn't fathom, he was going to have to pit if that went green. I don't think there was a way he was making it 75 laps on fuel with the limited fuel tank we have.
Well, he made it 77 on the first one, so...
Well, he was probably assisted by the caution there and that stuff. Because I know he was kind of involved in that first caution, so I had to pit. So that probably helped him. But yeah, it stings a bit, because this is now the second time I've led the most laps and dominated an Iowa race in an IndyCar league, only to finish second. And it maybe stings a little more this time, because the last time was to one of my own teammates at least, but it is what it is. And you said it as you dragged me in here. I'm a champion for the first time, finally, after so many times of coming so close and not getting it. I am a champion, and that is what I need, and that is what I am implanting in my head. I don't care about the second.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that I've always said when it comes to my own racing. I would rather win the overall than win any individual race. And so, second doesn't, when you get the big trophy at the end, second doesn't hurt so much. It doesn't sting as much. And you definitely got the big trophy tonight. You definitely claimed the big trophy, not the small one, and that's what we're all after. And because you got the big trophy, you got the mic, man. Take all the time you like to shout out whomever you like.
Yeah, I don't actually have like a proper championship speech prepared. I'll have to get one of those for the next race, hopefully, and where you'll get an actual champion interview. So I'll just do my normal thank you to Kagaya Designs for the beautiful livery work, as is shown on the broadcast right now. Absolutely knocked it out of the park with all the liveries they've done for me. They're incredible to work with. Highly recommend them. I know Micah Mixer here in the field also uses liveries by them, so you get a few of those awesome liveries on track every race. Big shout out to Lith Fox and Frisky Frankie for welcoming me into their voice chat tonight and allowing me on their streams for the last couple races here. Been really nice to have other people in the race, especially when I was in full anxiety, worrying that something was going to happen mode for about 90% of that race when I was in the lead. And then shout out to Taylor Mills and all the Taylor Mills racing people when I was a part of their program, like Taylor, Olivia Hayward, Lilac Zier, Kyle Clint, and then apart from TMR, Lilac or not Lyle, Kyle Clenworth and Brendan Lichtenberg, and there's I'm sure others that I could probably list, and I think they know who they are at this point, who have helped me get better with this car. Craig Forsyth being one of them, who won the race. Uh, Joe Mugford also helping me get better at iRacing as a whole, but also just massive moral support. They've very much been a Discord therapist for me for the last few months, and I feel bad about it. But it's been nice to have the moral support. And then, as always, shout out to Andrew for doing the setup work for this league. This setup was really good. I actually really liked how the set felt. One of the better feeling Iowa sets I've ever driven. And he knocks it out of the park 9 times out of 10 with the sets. Shout out to Matt Wagner and Shane Coker for putting on the league, and to P1 Broadcasting for putting on the broadcasts here to show off the IndyCar community.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for dropping in, Alex. Keep going fast and have fun, buddy. We'll see you at the finale.
Yeah.
That is your new champion, Alex Miller. And here's your new race winner, Mr. Craig Forsyth. Mr. Forsyth, thank you so much for joining us. Do want to let you know that I will try to save your voice for you. So we'll ask you pointed, short answer questions. The first one is, could you make it?
Yes, I was going to make it. I was either going to run out coming out of turn 4 or going across the line. Every lap that every lap my fuel gauge was either plus or minus a quarter lap. So I knew I was good. It was just I was pretty sure that Alex wasn't going to be able to run me down in the, I think, 8 laps we had left. But no, that was I mean, the only reason the fuel that fuel save even came in was because of the caution on the lap 5, the caution at the start there. I mean, the distance of 150 laps with the fuel we had was not makeable green flag to green flag, but because that caution came out, it was like a big red flag little thing on my marker on my little sheet going, hey, this is actually makeable at this point. I think I should commit to that. So since I was coming from the back anyway, I figured I may as well try it. And it was going to work.
Mr. Ryan Eric King, what do you have for the race winner this evening?
Craig pretty much answered the one question I had. It was like, because obviously due to technical difficulties, we missed it live on the broadcast, but it seemed that your strategy, again, like you said, was only possible due to the early caution and kind of the unfortunate fact that you got caught up in it, and you took the lemons and you made lemonade.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, it was just unfortunate. The guys at the front there, they just got together, and when I saw, I don't know which car it was on the outside that went sideways, and as soon as I saw the car sideways, it's like I'm going too fast to avoid this. I'm screwed, and I just plowed right into him. I was lucky that the car stayed straight enough. It ripped off my right front wheel, but the car was still straight enough and drivable enough that I was able to get it into pit lane without losing a lap. So at that point it was just out, and it was like, okay, I think we can do this. I was really mad at myself because I fooled around for a bit in that first stint, and I ended up being 0.2 of a lap short of being able to go an extra lap, which would have made the second stint so much easier. I was really massively fuel saving those last 30 or 40 laps. At that point, I was fairly sure that because Yari was also trying the same strategy, but he had pitted 2 laps earlier than me. So I was pretty sure he wasn't going to make it. He was just playing for a caution coming out. And I mean, and a caution coming out at the point where the whole pit cycle had happened was still going to be good for us, because as you saw, it left only, I think, 4 guys on the lead lap, as long as someone stayed out. And I decided to be the sacrificial lamb and stay out to make sure that people weren't going to get their lap back. And so that ended up, I mean, it had the downside that everyone behind me was on fresh tires. But I figured it was no guts, no glory. The second the pace car went in, I just stomped on the gas and went. And talking to Alex, he says, yeah, he didn't react in time. And I think they had so much better tires than I did that if those guys had been right on my butt, I think I would have been finishing third or fourth by the time we got to the checkered flags. So got really lucky with that restart. It worked out exceptionally well for us.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for stopping in. I know you're feeling under the weather, so maybe you'll be thanking Sudafed next week for getting you back into shape, Craig. But Prince,
I am coughing every time I stop talking.
Right, and that's why I keep telling you, man. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to save you. Friends, family, sponsors, shout outs. Floor is yours, buddy. Go ahead.
No, I got to thank Jim over at 40 Racewear, racing shoes, racing gloves, socks, racing socks now. They have racing socks with the grip on the bottom of them, all that good stuff. Everyone, Matt running Horizon has been a good Wednesday league. I'm glad that it's winter now and I can come back and stop golfing and start doing some driving.
What'd you get the handicap down to? We have to know.
I'm not good.
You're still handicapped, as my dad would say.
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah, I did not get any better this season. That's for sure.
That's the retort that I usually get. I'm like, hey, Pops, what's your number? What's your handicap? And the answer is yes.
The answer is I didn't have to pick up my ball, so we were fine. Yes.
I did. I always score my rounds of golf, Craig, in not in strokes, but in terms of golf balls lost. If I come home with the same amount of golf balls I left with, I'm in good shape.
My wife does it in happy faces. The number of happy faces she has in 18 holes, that if she has like 3 or 4, that's a good round.
There you go. Continue. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, and finally you and Ryan over at P1 doing the broadcast. Got to thank you guys. Love watching it back. I hope everyone enjoyed the broadcast. I hope we put on a good show for everyone.
We did put on a good show once we got it going. You can skip the first part where my computer decided where AT&T decided it didn't want to allow me to connect to the internets. But beyond that, man, it was a good show.
It's just a series of pipes.
Well, I learned, and my wife was texting me, that half of our town was just experienced a massive power outage too. So I'm sure that
that would do it.
Yeah, I'm sure that didn't help either. But we do thank you so much for stopping in, Craig. Keep going fast, having fun, buddy, and we'll see you at the next one.
Oh, you betcha, guys. Stay safe.
Yes, sir. That is Craig Forsyth. He is tonight's winner in the Horizon IndyCar Series Iowa 150. Ryan, this place never disappoints, does it?
No, it was a flag-to-flag thrill ride. We literally did not know who was going to win until the car crossed the line.
No, we didn't. I thought Craig couldn't make it. I knew he was going to make it. My thought wasn't, is Craig going to make it? It's going to be, is he going to have to go so slow that Alex is going to catch him? It's pretty clear that he was running in map 4 there for quite a while. And I think it might have been a little bit closer than Craig was letting on. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was closer than he let on. To me, the definitive moment where he secured the victory was that restart, where he got that big gap. It was just enough that should he had to lift just to eke out a bit more fuel to make it to the line, he would have had it.
He most certainly would have. Do want to thank everybody for tuning it in one more time. If you haven't already done it, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to P1 so that you can be notified of all future iRacing broadcasts. Do want to also remind everybody that concurrently on the channel, we've got the Formula Indy series, and those of you who are still here will automatically go right over to that broadcast as soon as this one is over. Tomorrow night, it's going to be myself and Luca with the IndyCar Pro Series qualifier that is in the Indy Next car at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Broadcast goes live at 7 o'clock. No race on Friday here on P1. We are off. And we're off Saturday, and we're off Sunday. And Ryan, you know what we're going to do with our days off? We are going to sleep, because we're going to come right back Monday with a
hell of a lot.
We are going to come back Monday with a triple header. We do also want to thank the drivers, the competitors, the fans, and also the people that really make it happen, the police, the firemen, the military, the EMTs driving the ambulance, and Ryan, the nurses that unload you when you get there. Thank you so much from the bottom of the hearts and from the bottom of our hearts for all you do. Adios.